And in me finding out that on the 16th, there was, according to the passenger manifest, Turkish Airlines left Freetown for go America. There was a Judah Moifori. And people speculate, say, this Bemba Moifori travel no day within the country, because I call the spokesperson for the correctional services. The whole day I ask them, when I don't get this kind of man, if I don't pick me call, I talk to other people, wait for no, they not pick me call. So me no say not evade them in the evade me call. And up to now, I don't talk, I don't ask them if the man physically present na the correctional center facility, you know the day. So what in one of me this whole thing? Now when the president they think say the Sierra Leonean people na idiots, na zombies, na fulumandem. You know, you take them for a ride that they run Sierra Leone like in farm or in banana farm.
Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch me program them, but you not subscribe it to my channel. All wait till you get for do, press this red subscribe button, and then you come over here and press this bell. So the bell option, press this one with all. And don't done. And not get for cost you anything. When you do this, now sign for show say you dey support we for make we do more. Thank you for your help me for share this program. Yeah, God bless
you. And to we listeners across all the platforms and we take for each one. I bring on our greetings and wish for continue to say happy 2022. Well, I want to say we don't come back today. We don't come at the big unknown junction, media junction. The junction where they talk about the thing the way they make the country go before, and so we talk about the thing the way the challenge the growth of the nation state of Sierra Leone. Inside today's edition, I don't like always line up a team of experts them we go come help we for RDA, but waiting to inform discussion at the topics that we would not select today. So we listeners them na Kabbalah where they get to on Shalom Radio, and so the one they get to on Shalom Radio na Falaba and Kono. Na Colentin na Cambia ad radio na Puloko, and of course the frequency where they listen now. If you did a radio garden, plant a seed on OPFM 93.3 McKinney, you go able to listen to it any part that the world will say you there. Or you go to Google Play Store, download Radio Garden and plant a seed on 93.3 and you able to follow it right through. And so you also go able to listen to it now we website on www.opfmsl.com. When once you did it or self, you can go to Google Play Store, download OPFM 93.3 McKinney app, install it on your phone, and then click play. You will able for listen to it. So we via then the other day watch live. Now we Facebook page live. We want for bringing on our greetings. I will say good afternoon. So now we apologies for the 2 weeks absence on air. Well, that's informed by many challenges, both technical and all the challenges, and we will not be away for excuse yourself from the one. But be rest assured that the fears way some people get about the program not correct. This program remain and it will remain for BUT. You know, I don't know how for be to go. Me na Stanley Bangura Jr. na me Kinde all time before the junction, and today we get Ibrahim Dayami we Boku can call Cantona we civil society representative na the junction. La bringing voice for Aduto we listeners who viewers across the world.
Family, Assalamu alaikum. I hope say this 2022 will be a very fruitful year for me, inshallah.
Alright, we also they go online. We get Minta Lukoma with the representative for the opposition on All People's Congress, APC. They online na Kenima Usai they join we na this program. Minta Lucy Adu to family.
Thank you very much, Stalin. Thank you, the panel.
Alright, Unisa Party Kamara UPK on your way to the studios, Siweso, Emilia Kamara Django. When once reach at the studio, we will make Leona know. But like I tell you, waiting here, they go inform discussion today at the junction. Well, family, we all know say since independence, every inmate possibly in a jail gets 2 days away. He always a pray say in him go did it for the presidential pardon where now a provision now one of the powers the way the president gets for grants mercy to people where they in a jail, where they serve jail terms for able to regain their freedom back, get themselves corrected for the mistakes there, and then can join society back. So this is a old trade where presidencies or presidents them since time immemorial done the exercise for give freedom to people them on New Year's Day and so on Independence Day. Well, we all can remember say all of their releases and they no get as much dust as the one we witnessed inside 2022. Inside 2022, the president, Dr. Retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, they exercise that power they will get for grant freedom to inmates there with the serve jail term Pademba Road and other correctional centers across the country. That mass city no drug controversy. In all of the inmates the way they at the list, but a particular one where they serve a jail term after conviction of killing one DJ Clef na Friton and them in on jail for life imprisonment. How that name they being get for come at the list, the man gets in freedom back and begin to show off instead of showing remorse. Now one of many things the way we will can deliberate on. That one day we talk about how the presidential pardon, they fall like bricks, like block them, where they fall down. So we want for examine that one day critically and we review them, how we see them as panelists them in a media junction. Then the second topic will be the constitutional review. We all know say the 1991 Constitution on two separate occasions, two presidency. This one make the third one where they don't make attempt for make sure say they right the wrongs them with the inside that Constitution and make them a better one for deepening with democracy. We see the Peter Tokanyon under the post-war. The war president Ahmad Jankaba being punado the review process, but being leave for see the day, and so in 2013, President Hannes Baikoma also being punado a constitutional review and be named one Justice Kawan for it before that process. They actually done the work. They present the recommendations in 2017 to the president then, but then they not be able to take action moving forward with the work of the Constitutional Review Committee. Well, just a few days ago, we also witnessed another occasion, the launch of the white paper on the recommendations. We see for the very first time in the governance quest, we see continuity, upholding of the work of another government. We see this government being punado the white paper on the constitutional review, and government make positions with regards to that particular occasion. So then I go inform discussion inside today's edition of the program Media Junction, where they reach you now all the platforms that way they get to, and I want to encourage you for the day over the next 2 hours where they reach you. Well, we certainly they begin with the first topic. We all can remember say way back in around 2015 or thereabouts, an incident be happening. Now one party, we say one DJ been they play for one party, and that party they also been get one attendee we name Moyo Fore, we then call LA Chocolate, and that DJ cut him and go bury him now some kind of place. So police been launch investigations. At the end of the day, they arrest some people, including LA Chocolate. The trial's been there on and there about. Then be able to convict them for both say indeed nine kill the clef enemy, sentence them to life imprisonment. But while all of this, that process they go, the family of the bereaved DJ Clef been believe say they don't get a closure on the issue by way of the judgment where the court returned, the guilty verdict where the court returned, that LA Chocolate in largely responsible for the death of DJ Clef. So that where the judge been passed on LA Chocolate and let's off the hook some other people that we've been in at the trial, being come to the family of the DJ Clef as a closure on the death of them picking them brother and their own posse. But then, whilst rumor been they go on say among the inmates that way they enjoy largesse, where they enjoy some kind of freedom na Gilead, get your own, change your own phone, do things the way you want prison, a whole lot of things the way all the inmates they call them prisoners not go deem for enjoy. We finally see on the 1st of January 2022 news about a white jeep parked at the entrance and exits of Pademba Road prisons, and a bearded young man with Moyo Fure DJ LA Chocolate being come and then pick him following the announcement or the publication of a list of people away. They say the president don't grant pardon. They don't give mercy for letting them come out Nigeria and can join the normal society. That news day now one way, unlike all of the other presidents, including President Bio, in past 3 years where he used that power for left people. Nothing other way become controversial in then pardon the way grant to people since we can office. The one way really raised dust, we bring discourse, you overwhelm the social media. Now the one around the release of somebody, an inmate where they serve a life in imprisonment for murder, a murder convict. And so it opened scars, it opened all wounds. We see reaction from the brother of the late DJ Clef. We see reaction from the daddy of DJ Clef. And so the discussion around whether in fact that Freedom Day where the president grant to more info in a one way well deserved. Many schools of thought they talk about convicts the way they serve jail time, especially one them the murder convicts them not deserve that kind of freedom than they as LA Chocolate they enjoy on the 1st of January 2022. Hence, we see the Pandora box around that particular pardon day and grant to LA Chocolate begin for open and we see different kinds of snakes that will come inside that box there. So we the council can discuss waiting so far it mean when we talk about presidential pardon. Who set of people they actually deserve for benefit from them pardon then they and I want to begin a discussion with Minkailo with online now. Minkailo, well, if not from a party position, but being a Sierra Leonean, we don't witness many pardons every don't grant people president in, president out. But this one being clouded the country with controversy, with questions around the mercy, the prerogative of mercy where the president exercise in the person of chocolate. How people enjoy this particular power where the president gets the prerogative of mercy for give somebody freedom, for let people off the hook where they face jail time, prisons across the country.
Hello, Sally.
Yeah, go on.
Hello?
Yeah, go on.
Yes, Sally, thank you very much. You know, locally you rightly said, presidential pardon, you know, also just unique to Sierra Leone. Now, I mean, these are privileged with presidents can enjoy all over the world. You know, when you take a look at the Constitution, the 1991 Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act number 6 of 1991, Section 63, 1 of that Constitution, they talk about the prerogative of mercy. You know, it states the president may, acting in accordance with the advice of a committee appointed by the cabinet over which the vice president shall preside, grant any pardon, grant any person convicted of any offense against the laws of Sierra Leone a pardon, either free of or subject to the law conditions. So the president is right, is that particular constitutional right for grant pardon to anybody who is convicted of any crime, that is not acceptable, any crime, be it murder or otherwise. So the president act beyond his mandate for grant pardon is not correct. Now his mandate is not the right that is in the Constitution. However, most Sierra Leoneans hold the view to this particular pardon which president grants to a certain individual called Bimba Mosere, alias Elisi. A lot of people, Sierra Leoneans, hold the view that, you know, this particular pardon now thought it was fraudulently granted, and that in fact the people also believe to not only the former AG, that is Anthony Bia, where they already start or they already please, not only for the not only for the scapegoat, you know, other people that will also take responsibility. People in the district, this pardon with president grant, we not possible that they don't convict of murder or they get the right. But the circumstances face around the granting of this pardon, a lot of people believe it's dubious. We got one renowned lawyer in this country, a lawyer, Ibrahim Kuruma, he expressed an opinion which he responded to a letter, a public notice that we come out from the State House. This public notice had been dated the 17th January 2022. We come out from the office of the president. You know, lawyer Ibrahim Kuruma actually the letter now from the response. In his view, we just believe the decision was ill-advised and that the pardon will and grant create embarrassment to the office of the president. We also believe that any pardon the president don't grant cannot be revoked. We also quote section 63.1 subsection A, section 63.1A. But that may rely on proceedings. But all that in another legal argument altogether. You know, we just believe to grant pardon or that, but the circumstances was around that particular pardon will be totally scrutinized. Now we all see the Minister of Information to express an opinion on social media that in the past at Periama, we used to go to Periama, any place the past will stop to the AG, and just grip and pass. We see a photo where they make the rounds, in which the minister did it, and the C did it, the justice former attorney general did it. So you see that particular thing, they send a message of syndicate. Although injustice are part to part, and in fact, if we as politicians, when they ask for photo opportunities, they particularly deny. When they ask you for the photo opportunity, to deny that particular opportunity, they forget all the people there. But the argument around the country, you go to our basis, you go to intellectual platform, you monitor the social media, a lot of people actually know this particular decision we president take for grant and pardon. Especially considering the kind of the president get the right and not emphasize this point. And secondly, the time this particular person, convicted person, they don't take. The time we don't take. I mean, in 2 shots, a lot of people believe that the flexible in granting that person pardon. So that is the debate going around. And people are actually not happy. Again, president don't revoke this particular pardon. A lot of people, they also say the president is succumb to pressure based on waiting a lot of people express or revoke this particular pardon. They ask also the question, why president not be done to change some of the decisions then? If you don't err, in other words, if you don't make mistakes. Decisions like the suspension of the audit services alone. A lot of civil society they actually express their opinion on that way. I remember vividly that the went to me of that central. I also remember Angela Valley of IGR Institute for Governance Reform. I remember Flash. I remember the Bar Association. And mostly now civil society organizations and media institutions, individuals, their position, everybody express opinions on that particular decision the president take and act that president reverse that decision, go through the right channel to make sure the right thing happen. But president is very stubborn in all listen, and president actually go ahead for institute a tribunal. We recently also went through the substantive AG, then decide to go take the president to court. I read Bambi in the news. I not just able I pertain the fact of Bambi, but I read them. You see, so then here, uncommon for grand pardon, not saying the grand pardon, grand down to the right people. We know say in some cases, the law, now some cases actually is very, very difficult for living. Some people learn, they don't make allegations against them, some people they don't make mistakes, the law don't convict them, they don't go to prison. In those circumstances, can be president to actually see how the pardon them category of people they do. But the recommendations back where they come up from the committee can be properly scrutinized because in the end, it is the president who just give the pardon. So even if the committee bring their recommendations here to president will also get, a second feedback. The people are going to advise to president. We rely on to making decisions as president. But in no time, let president make decisions, especially regarding, decisions that are constitutional. Especially this kind of decision and revocal. It's difficult for the country. We only pray that them mistakes there are no president, again, no evidence.
Before we went into how all of this happened, I also they take bite from the panelists. We get Emilia Kama Django Ejiscam, and of course with traditional social and political analyst Yenisa Patrick Kama UPK. Let's take the mic to UPK and instead of one person they follow closely, or some people can say religiously, the presidential pardon, particularly the one with the grant to LA Chocolate, we bring much on that effect on the office of the president. Whether you take, you think they do due diligence, including the president, for sign off on a blank check. That is to say, without going through waiting inform the contents. Now that list of images that we grant the mercy to.
Well, I think see me, you know, me views on the presidency IQ. I don't blame him for this. You know, there's a theory where they call the principal and the agent. The theory is that the principal will rely on the agent, that it will work in best interest. So the president, now they do the official part of him, but they get a committee, where the committee include the vice president, the attorney general, and the director of prisons. So in the recent past, the practice now the prison, anybody we they convict for a crime, when the person don't do, they get a chunk of in time. When he left 3 months or 6 months, the president can pardon him for good conduct. We now the prisons, the director of prisons, they make the recommendation. Then later this committee can see them, scrutinize them, sign them off, and send them to the attorney general. Later, in can just then they compile the list and send them to the president. The president might not have known, but they act in trust that all the people who don't advise me, no will give me bad advice. So he can just sign. This president don't use for bring the office of presidency to disrepute, but this one I forgive him because he was misinformed. But in the readings and the other things who have been on the that first of all, this Bemba Moiforibona Tayama, and when they be accused of this crime, a lawyer, Nabi the IG Bewa, in Ko, and go. So one them born at the same time, two now inclined. So let me get this kind of relationship. And number 3 now, when the vice president been busy with this light business for Bo and Kenema, they go Abidjan, travel all over this country, nobody will sit down at this committee physically. So the honors was delegated to the vice president, the former IG, we don't go so now. So in that process, they said I insert the name to the dismay and disgruntlement of the other players. So then get for him the pardon. Who say me blame the president and then people around them? Let me say this thing don't backfire. You want for revoke him. Me question where I been asked the day where they revoke the pardon of this man on the 17th, was he physically present na the premise? Because in this kind of situation, this na high security thing, get the man first, put an jail, and revoke the thing. But you revoke him, this man flee. And in me finding out that on the 16th, there was, according to the passenger manifest, Turkish airline left Freetown for go America. There was a Judah Moifori. And people speculate, say, this Bemba Moifori travel not there within the country, because I call the spokesperson for the correctional services. The whole day I ask them, when I don't get this kind of man, if I don't pick me call, I talk to other people, wait for no, they not pick me call. So me no say not evade them in the evade me call. And up to now, I don't talk, I don't ask them if the man physically present na the correctional center facility, you know the day. So what in wanna make this whole thing? Now when the president they think say the Sierra Leonean people na idiots, na zombies, na fulumanden. You know, you take them for a ride that they run Sierra Leone like in farm or in banana farm. Let me say this is a mistake. Now you want for rescind the mistake. For God's sake, you know go do due diligence. You know go make say this man then at the facility first before you sign this thing. Me as still you go want for exonerate him. You go want for sorry for Mr. President. But I really feel say he has a finger in it.
So,
except otherwise.
So I asked the question. You think say this is enough lesson now for the presidency for ensure that yes, trust very key with people who already work. But when you are caught up in the middle of shortage situation, whose less you think it is for don't change the presidency, especially when you can to signing public documents or doing something for the good of the ordinary man and woman?
Well, me na one man me first got reaction when this thing happened. I forgive the president. But when the blunders too often, I now know that he has a finger in it. Look, I always argue, say this president not about the read. And you know too well. Sorry if I offend you, but I don't need to offend nobody. I say, for me, reading skills now, like a nursery school boy. So, this is not about trust. This is about himself having a finger. Because if not the one way misinformer, they could not have made a second blunder. And they challenge Mr. President, and they challenge the agent them. Let them present more fury physically to the Sierra Leonean people. But when you know then you make fake reason, I think saying are provoking to the good citizens of Sierra Leone. We give Mr. President job. I know he not get any lesson for land because he's not a man who is ready to learn. He has been a divisive character. He don't take the people of Sierra Leone for a ride willy-nilly. He thinks he owns this country and private property, that this country we don't go back to the state of nature. We're not governed by law. But in any democracy, and me believe say Sierra Leone a democracy. Sierra Leone is a country of law, a country of systems, a country of order. I won't forgive him first because that was a mistake. But when the thing continues, I know he has a finger in it, except otherwise. And the only thing we go convince me now we Bemba Moifori then present him physically in the Panema Road facilities. If not to that, then somebody go down get at the back, say, well, go, no make like I say now we, and now let's just fake this for fake the good citizens of Sierra Leone. Right. Mr. President not get, go learn anything because you not take the people who get a job too serious, you not take them. He's not working in their interest. He's just about his own interest, and he thinks he's having a field day willy-nilly, taking the people for a ride because the blunders too often. Because if when there is sin and the man in the public, I would have forgiven him. But people they bash me, say me the lie. There is a Judah Moy for a way travel on Turkish line in left Lunge airport. When we are looking for a Moy for a. So me think when I see the passenger manifest, I say there is this that this man don't go. It's unfortunate, but I mean unfortunate that will continue to do so. I feel bad as a Sierra Leonean.
All right, so let's come to Emilia. Now we see social media still remain awash with showcase of Moifore a foreign land following in peaceful, in quiet, honorable exits before the president revoke the presidential pardon within grant to them. Asking that he go back now jail when they ask for close the stable where they almost don't go. We also don't witness heads in the role, but just see one we bear the greatest responsibility way by waiting ubiquity when the list generate from correctional center, they go to CID for a review, from CID go to ONS, you go to the committee. And apparently for don't be the vice president for don't watch him, but then he delegated the responsibility to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. We submit the final list to the president, and then the big question around which they ask the president append in signature because of trust in the man they will get around them. So waiting there for justice, being a human rights person, more so we the family being believes they don't get a closure on this, and now they don't can reopen the wound. We see this person here, they live some kind of life where me and you two they in freedom, where they enjoy, don't they enjoy freedom, not get that laxity, they will not get that largesse for enjoying freedom. Then they display of money,
vulgar display.
I mean, having photo photos with different people. Now social media picks the show. We say it elsewhere in France, and we see Edson don't begin there. You think say the Attorney General for me the only possible for fall for this, and then the question around if then kind way this guy they show off himself across the world now, the bluff for the freedom we don't get. You think say he go give closure to the family?
In fact, Stanley, Nadia be one for starts, even if you not be asked for the family. For me, when I see the first photos them after they don't grant and pardon, the first photos them where I see they go around tells a lot. For me, one quick thing we show now that now a provocation to the family members them. Apart from the processes where they show how then they release people there or how then they grant pardon. One other thing we me believe now the fact say now people were almost they done term of sentence. Now them normally they can look at probably then kind behavior now where they get na the correctional centers, the kind where they behave themselves, all of them things then the correctional out of them things then the correctional people then they identify who that the president they grant that pardon. But it is now clear to everybody that in fact in your case that process they not to be anything for go by. They don't backfire that process they then do every kind of way they get for do, and now it reach to the Attorney General where get in your power and say no, even if this name not there, I for put on. But I also want for talk on the side of the president, you know, where out of trust, you use the word out of trust, is sign that document there. For me, I also believe say most of the cases them now where they happen, where people just they sign, even with institutions them where they go carry with financial document to you, check them to you, you just can sign out without you not look at. Sometimes for me, before this time I go begin talk for trust. But Stanley, we don't live in a world now where you difficult for trust people. Because even those where they're very close to you, where you feel so okay, let's just carry it out go sign. Sometimes it could not be also deliberate on their own part. But let's say somebody carry it for we when administrators or heads of institutions, yeah, and then somebody carry a document to you out of trust, you not go through them, and then you sign. For instance, a date for check or whatever it is, then you sign. They don't ever blame that person who carry that document to you for sign. Now you will sign that document, that you get the blame. And so for me, in this place, I want to say, president be need for even go through that list. And officer that list so boku in a way that president of be get some time for just watch and then ask questions. Who
It's not a real president.
Who done this person? Who done this person? But if it not happen so, well for me, it don't show the level of dishonesty again where people they don't portray over the years, you know, with regards pulling things in. But again, standing for the area of the family, they can start for say, for me, this is a high level of provocation. You know, I don't wonder if me and the family of the deceased, how you gonna feel, you know, where this person will kill or where they don't already, the law don't prove and say yes, he guilty. This sort of even an alleged again. We don't come on and that's how they say alleged perpetrator or whatever it is. He was convicted. He was convicted for such a crime. Then put on a jail for people the way see they listen with. They put on he go through the court process and the court find and guilty and say yes you do am now you do am and then jail am and then give am a years where they say now this year you go spend and that year they not come in name come and for let you know say the man not even gets an iota of regret of waiting happen. Or even, you know, Stanley, some people then if they before in that situation, people never be even no say if they are among that list of people where they pardon. Trust me, Stanley. But again, yes, it disappear. Yes, if we believe that prison, quietly they can't get opportunity for travel. So travel, maybe now after years, it go begin show itself, begin portray itself. But this kind of thing where this guy they do, they tell we say, he get people where they behind and very strongly where he not say at the end of the day nothing comes out of it, Stanley. All this what they do, look at the side the way they show you side the guy they now. Then you want to begin asking yourself, say, who side pass? He pass through with airlines, they pass through with airport. You know, Keko, you know, hide. He go genuinely pass. Yeah? And for me, the first day where this list come out, where a president pass pardon, now that time this rumor don't begin circulate. Now that time this rumor don't begin circulate. So if there is anything where they begin the work for you, if we be really serious for arrest and back or whatever it is, or question in release, we for don't start from that point. Not so now this past weeks now this thing alarm now and make away so many people don't raise so much eyebrows, so much concern. I can. But this thing started from the very first day when they give more pardon. Now that time people they begin raise concern. But nobody took it seriously. And you know ever come out that kind of way and on to this time. So for me with regards to the family, I have to continue to talk to the family, for be patient and for be prayerful. But this is really heartrending. This is really sad. You know, somebody where them point to una say na in kill una pikin. Just within a few years, they release him. And they don't let you release him like any other. What about the other prisoners the way they release? But he's going out in a grand style, bluffing. Look the first photo the way they send. The money there. Soldier there.
I go suffer and look me. I don't come back to my normal life.
And it's sad for the people of Sierra Leone. It's really insulting. It's really sad. The question we ask if now we feel saying at the Attorney General no more, you know, for all. For me, that's a start. Comments for make sure say beyond all reasonable doubt, all the one them were responsible, were linked to this for action for be taken. It's very serious because you get other people where even the one waiting at the committee. Let's assume the Attorney General don't say yes, this is what is going to happen. They became responsibility for also brief the president and tell and say, Mr. President, now this we don't do. This not be done at the committee. We don't talk to the Attorney General, but he still don't say this possible come. For me, I think say they self-deceive the president. In some way, they self-deceive the president. Because if they keep quiet, tell that document they go to president, he sign up. When they are aware and they were not comfortable of the name of that particular name they for say, this name not a name where president for sign. And they not inform the president. You know, for me, if that was the case, if actually they not be informed the president for say we get a disagreement for this name and for this name, and then go ahead and give president that list, right. Then self don't serve as supporters here to the army.
So the question they go now to the army. Some people they say in all of these the punishment of will just be the sacking, especially where the man in question, the fugitive in question, the fugitive in question, they continue for provoke the conscience of right thinking Sierra Leoneans. They continue for provoke the feelings or the emotions of the family of
the Sierra Leonean people.
So the army, you think say action beyond this for be taken for because we don't hear about Boku investigations and where the office of the president almost always on the announce, but then we don't see the one on Pademba Road prisons, the one on McKinney, the investigations are around incidents them or inactions them where can happen by some institution in Boku. And this one where president announced the leaving of Anthony Brewer from office as Attorney General, and the calling for investigation into how this man in name find himself na the list. Some people they say enough of tap they will go beyond so that punitive action will be taken. One way not just limited to sacking, but one way go probe for find out the real reasons why LA Chocolate in him find himself na the list of the people where the president grants pardon.
You know where this thing begin? I mean, one person where I be they watch and they listen. But immediately when me party, then Attorney General and Minister of Justice in him pop up, I say, oh Allah, why always you? But to be honest, where we go through everything, the obvious, and nothing saying fire in enough, given way to the I think the now sacked Attorney General get quite a lot of for say with regards to this matter. I have to be very, very honest based on a lot of in a way related allegation of acting unilaterally for later name the day because the great Mr. EPK don't say earlier on the prison people and are they in charge for house them people and they over the years and they monitor them, keep track of them. So accordingly, and then they generate the list, you go through a lot of channels and up to ONS, you know, and well, maybe we go say the Vice President below cannot be there around, but whether in hindsight, you know, or otherwise, we excuse him. It come back to the issue we get for do about due diligence and signing documents. To be honest, myself, I don't sign a lot of documents. Them. They just show me the dotted line.
Yeah, you trust the person.
Yes, I trust the person. Lord be honest, Lord be very practical now, SAB. You waste it on yourself, you know me brother. For long years. If you go bring document to the baker die, you're a diamond, sign now. I swear to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I sign now. Because I just take relationship for granted. I think that is where the president fall now. And for me, I'm not going to still stop for trust people. Even with this disappointment with the president feel now. Because, Lord be honest, there was a time somebody in the Ministry of Finance tell me something, SAB, doing partners in term. He said, the guy in a state house and they waited, maybe the president in fly one out of the country don't do in the next 48 hours. Now the turn in the cake paper and go, we get for do about releasing foreign currency from the central bank. Yes. You know, the question of that, you and the Ministry of Finance, you get a responsibility for be due diligent, but you know go also want for contribute for let the president miss in flight. So what you go do? Instead of asking too many questions, try for go through the PET form as per law required. That man, that messenger, I know now say the president get for can fly. So what you get for do? So this is exactly what happen at government. And I believe say the president in table is so congested to an extent, we can excuse him by this one. So let's just tell people waiting this pardon thing they talk about. And Mr. If you gave the talk, say them for don't round the man up and bring and Kambala, I tell you for as long as that name don't float around the country, that man is a free man. If you get for torture now, you get for show something as proof. We say now this man the question be declared as a fugitive. Now only after when they don't rescind that pardon, I become a fugitive. So and I tell you again, I think the recklessness of the one with them free and the one the other around them also play into this one. And I know also, you know, so he's a reckless guy, if not supposed to be reckless. And I also say this, that man, you know, qualify for let them include another list where I don't go through a lot of the provisions of the law given in conviction and in time way for serve. So, first of all, you're not supposed to be on that list. So, like you say, whatever happened behind the scenes will make a name can surface that list. That one in for me with interest. I don't think say it just can't that list out of the way. It can't that list because things that happen behind the scenes. So for now, me prime suspect into all of this that the sacked Minister of Justice and Attorney General. Then I'm a prime suspect, and I believe say it will provide a lot of answers. We see photos, we see videos, whatever they behind those things, we go only say, let them not just leave the Minister of Justice, let go, the former Minister of Justice, let go so no more. But to be honest, that man not eligible, not qualify for the that list because of the kind crime where he commit and convict on SAB.
Let's go back to Mengalo. Now, we take a final bite on this topic. What do you think say will be action beyond waiting the president to announce for receiving this man in pardon, and at the same time for institute investigation as to how his name got to the list. We don't see the first victim done, the first man done for done. We don't see panic amongst people that we probably suspect themselves for being accomplice in all of these actions. This act of giving pardon to somebody we not deserving. What do you think say will be a closure on this issue, given the first action where the president don't take, and the second one for rescind, and at the same time for sack the Attorney General, where many people will point finger at say na in responsible for that guy they name for getting himself na the list of people away the president grants pardon.
Well, telling you, if this is a crime, it should be regarded as an organized crime. The organized crime person is committed. The truth of the matter is the one that will express opinion to the pardon was fraudulently granted that by dubious conduct, and in fact, we don't bring that embarrassment to the presidency. May not mistake at all. We are very correct because this are removal key. And we don't bring that indeed embarrassment to the office of the presidency. So this is more correct. We don't show him. Not only the fact Attorney General and Minister of Justice, but other people also. Because it is a committee, remember, waiting will not provide cabinet the appoint committee, where the vice president will preside over. And when you say committee, we're going to do a media junction, so now it's panel. If you get any issue, they need a table for discuss. So one person not going to speak with somebody named that list. This committee for debate, all the names there, when presidents are grand panel. It's a debate them one after the other. And when they even say to them in the ask the president takes back their responsibility for doing independent assessment. It will also try to reach out to security advice of the way it's not. When our people who believe in another put the security of the state of bringing the office of the president into this review, then people will do the advice to president better. The president, I mean, would give an independent opinion other than waiting the committee then you. That's so and so the state, then I say things. And that means we also believe in presidents and leaders that people are going to be with them. We have to use them now to make decisions, especially when it comes to high profile conviction of bandits and convict person of murder. Yeah, then this is what we have, young guns and pardon. Also considering the good time, working with Chief, then how long this person wants to be. And long way this debate and the advocacy around this debate. In that one, we see artists there and musicians and the film music, civil society, everybody will advocate for let them be preserved. And this is still fresh in human memory. We need to don't count that on the day, but why a lot of debate, public outcry, presidents don't consider all of them human beings. Now I also need to the issue and the warrant because they don't revoke the pardon that but look at the city now. And the city now have to be found. All that people may also be issued in fact it was a syndicate that actually they don't allow for let the jurisdiction, then they come with that particular thing for just make them apply for the full public. That also don't put the presidency office into serious dispute. All of them think they know good for the office of the president. And we also believe to going for president for the extremely careful, thankfully the mandate that he has to, to steer the ship. The mandate is there for steer the ship. Not just about a year. After that, the people of this country will now decide for the ushering a new leadership. They must study to be the captain for the ship. So that's not bad. They make a very big mistake. Let them be the other, but it is not just about president you. But let no other presidents, they even try to do the clear for so. Because it's not even good for the peace and security of the country. When you talk about murder, when you talk about national cohesion, and when you talk about peace, the unity of the state, and then country and this just happen, it is wrong. It should not happen against Stalin.
Let's come to you, PK, and the question I want to ask, we talk about being proactive, and we talk about the office of the presidency in proactiveness in this particular issue. Some people they say it take too long for let the president take the action it takes so, because on the release of LEC, a day after a release, we see a display of huge catch of money. It gets a military personnel close to them. On tap there, we see the tour party with artists them. They're all over the place. And some people they say at that point they not in them for don't take action, not to way the order for close the stable where the hostel don't go out. When you take, is it true that it took too long for the revoke of this pardon come from the president and the sacking of the Attorney General, where all fingers they point at as being the man at the center of all of this, having the man's name on the list?
You see, they argue see the Attorney General the former Attorney General an unfortunate character. Now the man we remember saying that the second time this and this come from cabinet. Now being a local government minister, waiting and they tell you that really not fit for leadership, you know. And number two, this chap in vulgar display of wealth in itself and misuse of institutions for a lieutenant, a senior officer in the Sierra Leone army. They play the end days here at the talk say at the apartment state say where they appoint the Solicitor General, where they get SLPP membership card. So I say now just the capture of our institutions, extension of the SLPP in every facet of our institutions. What do you lieutenant get for go guard an artist? That is if they bring the army into disrepute. We institutions for being professional, right? And stay in the barracks. But for go guard you, lieutenant, not even a private soldier, lieutenant, a commission officer in the Sierra Leone army for go guard, like Minka Lucena organized crime. From the presidency down to the last organizer. And this boy, Ellie Chocolate, is irresponsible. I mean, he's not even a serious criminal, because a criminal like this, once this thing happened to and give pardon, you will not know. But for them, it take picture with minister, it take, and honestly, when people go say because the guy I'm a friend, and Rado, now unfortunate person, is a politician. He want to be nice to people. So they make he take that picture. No, I mean anybody, even mad herself go don't do it. He comes one for the photo shoot.
Even when this
he does not know the man. No, everybody in the video they asking for take picture. Is sabi?
Nobody knows the question.
Me the pastor they say you pick a lot take picture with you. Anybody go sabi? He's unfortunate, right? So I feel sorry for him. I feel that. I don't play advocacy for him. Yes, I don't make no sympathy about her. But he's unfortunate. But this man is severe. Now they all born, they have been clients, say the guy is a criminal. Look, quick, you don't be associated with her. I mean, the office of the presidency, proactive, it's part of the organized crime. The mere fact that people speculate, say a travel on a diplomatic passport. Some people they say it in Liberia. Other people they say it in Turkey. Other people they say it in France. But the one way they fly on the 16th of January, now Judah is spelling a Juda, Judah Monfore. Me only be saying because now Monfore is something for long reinvent itself and get a new identity. But there is the passenger manifest for Turkish Airlines that day. But again, this boy gets the people who they even associate with. Now, disrespect for the Sierra Leonean people, this disrespect for the feelings of the family, and everybody, but criminal, bro.
Right.
Criminal.
All right. Emilia.
Not so, I say, not even alleged, like Emilia say, he has been convicted by a competent court of law in Sierra Leone.
All right. We come to the same LEC and we see the vulgar, like you said, the vulgar display of wealth we show. Having served prison for a very long time, he don't behind bars. with what he show a day after in freedom, show say he can buy anything and he can buy any institution. So the question around whose kind passport he use for travel, not for come at play. Because if a man come on prison today, he go negotiate for buy vehicle and put money where people away down there at them freedom. Imagine he don't there in prison from 2015 to which we talk about call him 7 years or so. He don't there in incarceration and he able to come out today. He get that kind of wealth the way he display and call people to party. What do you take with regards to the timing between the revoking of the pardon and the vulgar showcase of LSC na social media, the kind possibly be the celebrations and the parties and we all for sure say indeed in a free man.
Stanley, for me, when I see that it make I not even shock and not even believe say in release na a mistake.
What's organized?
They all of them things them they surrounding. They make an all agree for belief say in release na be a mistake. It was a well organized like other people they don't say. And trust me, somebody who went on there na prison for how many years? Or maybe one go out for age to say if you don't work money, if you don't have an account before you go to prison. And so when you come on a prison, you just go check back na account, you go cash money, you come and begin display. Well, one or two go out for age that day. But to me, Stanley, that kind of display where I see. In fact, at one night, I begin to ask myself, this man, he be sleeping in a prison. He be inside himself. You know, those are question no more where be the play in my mind. And he also bring me to something where my brother that me be the talk. He say, he wrap up for say, plenty thing then and the president in table. You know, for they go through for some of them things that they. When we talk of the president, maybe he will be also already begin qualified to be the president's office. And when they carry document to the president, for all I know, it's not just the president, Maada, to be specific, taking that document to watch it, especially in them cases there.
You know, just
he has a secretary.
Yeah, sure. You know,
You
just
know,
find himself.
he gets secretaries, he gets people.
With
So
the
now,
peruse.
yeah, with the peruse, so not just limit them to Maada, you know, as a president. When we want to talk about the president in office. So for me, people when they at that office, when I said me, I continue for say the president for not watch that document. When I said the president, even those where they work with her. So for me, the issue of plenty things at the president's table, of course, it goes without saying that the president gets a lot of things then when go for adware. But we don't forget say these are things that when they happen on a yearly basis. It happens on a year. And every year, the president they do, in fact, they make a pronouncement for do all of them things they are. So, me, I a bit, you know, worried that because of them plenty things and the way get on table. Now make I even argue say when we talk about the president, he get people where they watch. He get people where they are. Even when the president they make speech, you know, people in there where they write for him. And then the president
He gets a speech writer.
Yes, he gets a speech writer. So if they document and they come, all of those people for don't watch them. And now when president said they come for read them, if you don't ask one or two questions relating to that. So for me, Stanley, honestly, with all this where they happen, and like all the things that now we see where they happen, let God help this country we call Sierra Leone. But it's really, really sad. And for me, I go again for say, hacker and arrogance and every other thing I add up to the display. Every other person for me get similar opportunity for one for call and
nobody knows about it.
And nobody knows about it. But blood nati where the facts.
It will show you.
Blood nati where the facts. And hacker nati where he asks for cover. He asks for cover. Maybe if now anybody where innocently be commit that crime or maybe unintentionally, some maybe manslaughter or whatever it is, where maybe not if I become out, it even shame for letting us see as say that me them be convicted for short a crime. Now they don't release me. Let I go sit down and be quiet corner. That man forbidden at that corner for how many months, nobody care. Even with all the money we get, if we go live in a quiet place, they live a normal life, nobody cares about him. But where hacker, where he ready for old person, it make you do things some way. At the end of the day, you say go begin for ask yourself, say, why did I do this kind of things? So for me, Nadani, so I continue for say, the president in office, the president, each and everybody be get a responsibility for watch that thing. Not your thing where they car every month. Where you see don't happen, so this January 1. Person or independence or whatever term the president choose for one. Pass all the year back before it happened. So care for we don't take it. Yes, the Attorney General former, we don't go and sack that list there, but people they also be get responsibility. And like I said, Stanley, it relates me. This is the question of the pardon and whatever I think is it come very, very late. From the first day they repeat where they release this guy, the concerns them don't begin for the goal. Even that first picture where they show that money and that Iceland personnel concerns them don't the go. So whatever action then be one for taking, really will be serious for now get this man back and for answer for we don't get him. So for me, in fact, I want the team say mistake not the pan.
All right, Dami, we bring the curtain down this. What we think say we will find out the family forget to closure on this. We persistently we see photos and videos of this man in celebration mode, in victory mode. It in some mood where you know don't kill that peace, that quietness, that acceptance with the family of the deceased Benonget.
You know, like I've been saying earlier on, me I don't take stamp and can go to people and for let them sign the document. They're not in the office. Then do them and they'll continue for do them. The same with you. It's about trust. We not will ever stop for trust people just because somebody don't betray trust.
So the family, the closure.
With regards to the family, I feel for them because the guy he ostentatious, he arrogant, got carried away. But no perfect crime, no day. Me, I don't know about cases that we don't lead on. Cold case, maybe 20 years, maybe 30 years. One day somebody slip up and something come up. The family, they all lost nothing for come again. Yes, there was closure. But this one just by like say, somebody come and challenge the guy in conviction and then they set him free. You know, but I mean, Lord, just myself not part of the family now because myself don't lost loved ones and I know what it mean for lost certain people in our life. We all know the circumstances surround the loss of the guy in life and at least somebody then all somebody all accountable and now the person they come and show party.
So we think say the president for hoping for announce a criminal investigation into the matter rather than just an investigation.
Well, whatever. I mean, I don't need any qualification to the investigation. Maybe the findings will define them better. Right. But to be honest, I think somebody right. They for all now.
We move to the next topic, and we all know say the 1991 Constitution where the former president Joseph Saidu Momo being put together for replace another constitution and usher in multi-party democracy after we one-party governance for a very long period. It come at a time when the process implemented, you don't kind of force the implementation of the said constitution don't begin. We see the war being come, then pull the APC in power, the military come, the military hand over to a civilian rule after the first multi-party elections. And then we see also the war being waged, and we've been getting a president when Ahmad Tijankaba. They say the constitution get so many loopholes, so many lacunas, and hence it been invite, they landed Peter Tucker for lead a commission for review the constitution. That process, the end, it been get a dust, now some shelves them, and obviously the daylight of the process we complete. And in the 2013, we see after President Nkrumah came to power in 2007, years after he considered say them for review the constitution, because some of the things that we campaign on, you're not able to do them until the constitution is reviewed. And so he informed a process and announced Justice Kawan as possible to lead the process. Emilia and others been formed part of that process, the consultations across the country, and they'll be able to complete the process and present the recommendations of the review process to President Nkrumah in 2017. But then, again, now one way end up for gather dust, and instead of not see the daylight for actualizer. After 11 years, the president served and the process of reviewing the constitution remain a dream. And now we see, after we don't talk about the disconnect with the government, this government they come, and continue waiting and they left. One among many things the way this SLPP governments don't do now for continue work way the APC left, they not come again for can start the whole process of the constitutional review. Then just take the files, they review constitution from the shelf, the dusty shelves, and the dust them, and try for look them, add something them, pull something them, reject or accept something there, where they in that particular document there. And last week, then Pulado a white paper on the constitutional review, who say the president say they don't accept some of the recommendations there. In fact, some of them don't begin work with them. Boku paneng recommendation and they also we government reject. Boku they accept. Key among them we really don't bring discussions. Then they, and we also be from the Speaker of Parliament. We have been very cautious for talk about the safe landing of that white paper day. That is the safe passage of that paper day for able to get the review, the 2/3 majority in the Parliament for let it go through the process or call a referendum for look at some of the entrenched clauses in a way now until a referendum hold before they able for amend them. But then the good thing is we get the process going. Gentlemen and lady, I want to begin with you, Min Kailo. You think say waiting come out as white paper now? Now waiting APC left behind or some changes then they in some aspects or changes are not there at all. But yet we see a speaker way very fearful of the fact say the process now will enjoy the 2/3 majority way in need for get a safe passage of this review process in the Parliament.
Hello.
Yeah, go on.
Yes, Colin, we for noting the SLPP they have in the in a positive way. Even when APC the system for these things that we very correct and in the interest of the country. As long as or as far as SLPP concerned, as long as I've been in governance of the new government, we always tell you say APC will do this or reject them because it don't happen so. Then that excuse is the way that normally can do. But then we are talking about the constitutional review process here. Let me in the first place establish that we as a political party, review the right paper with the mental deserve, we will critically analyze them, and after that we will communicate to the public, the citizenry, and the international community, making our position regarding that. But also, constitutional review processes are not new with the APC. Legislative the recommendation to review the 1991 Constitution of Sierra Leone Act number 6 emanates from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, TRC. You know, after the war, it begins the period of post-war post-war reconstruction. A lot of recommendations were made regarding the painful disaster in this country, everything is possible, but put Sierra Leone on a sound democratic footing and for make sure that we not get a relapse into the conflict which will not happen. And most of the things we get for this, we can access to justice, we get for this security, and we get for this peace, democracy, and human rights. And being ruled by the whole state and government, APC, we need a lot regarding that what the briefly there for talking about. The Lord knows in this constitution for no reveal that the TRC will make that recommendation. I don't really read the constitution, the right paper, we government pull again, and I don't actually comprehend that properly. Then we also know, you know,
so, Minkalo, you say you don't properly digest this review constitution. But then when the speaker they talk, he say foresee a safe passage of the reviewed process. Why the fear? Is it that things and daily way not up and the review document on a left? Or wait on a left nine government present so?
We as a political party will come out with a position very soon to communicate to the public, the citizens of this country, and the international community. I will give a personal opinion on what we think so far on what we are doing. So I now am prejudice waiting therefore can formally and therefore present to the public, the citizens, and the international community. I think the APC therefore embark on the country. Let us know down this challenge. Like I said, when you take a look at this white paper, a lot of things that the government sector will pull and they will be there. You know, you get no section dealing with the media. In fact, when you want to let people get proper access to democracy and participation, the media are one such institution we not the at all.
So then you just the section we provide for freedom of expression.
Now, hello.
Yes, go on.
Now the white paper or the TRC recommendation that a new chapter entitled Information, Communication and the Media with different provisions in freedom of the press, media, freedom, independence, no state interference, and establishment, composition and function of Independent Media Commission be indicated in the Constitution. Government reject that particular recommendation. We all know the political interference within the Independent Media Commission. We know the interference the government gets in the media. So when you take a look at the white paper, then certain people do. Most of the things that we not doing in interest. There is better. We reject the government reject government notes when they refer you to how it be the chapter being at the section or that section being at the constitution, everything as soon as they remain. I don't take a look at them, I don't read down, I don't turn my back and forth. Now we know that when it comes to constitutional review in this country, as a new constitution, the APC is known for that. We all know how APC replaced the 1978 constitution, or otherwise we still now introduce the 1991 Constitution Act number 6. 1978 Constitution Act number 12 is very problematic, but unlike the Secretary Momo, we try to introduce a new constitution, and on the 23rd, 26th, and 28th, and 30th of August 1991, we did a referendum that this country. We will introduce a new constitution, and that constitution will not stand the test of time. That constitution will now still use today. And that constitution will now make provision for multi-party democracy. That constitution will now make provision for the respect and promotion of fundamental human rights. That constitution will now actually create the political space where a lot of people will participate in politics and give independence to the media. When some people think they get monopoly over certain things which is not correct. When people even talk about the father of democracy, I think the party will actually take that credibility that President Joseph the moment. Considering the kind of policy against them will do a lot of things to promote democracy, the rule of law, and justice in this country. So, if the people then get an opinion, we even any document in the right man express something, we actually decide the APC in no particular document is not correct. Like I said, Stalin, when we got in 2007, from 2007 to 2017, we the APC government at that time is focused on the justice system, justice delivery in this country. And we do a lot of things. Many people do not know. We don't describe for make them know, but a lot of people describe for the days from that past. People do not even know say at that time when President Kobaka, the number of judges will increase from 25 to 35. Take a look at the reasons. We need the outcome and the recommendations we are make. We do not say the APC do remarkably well. Now we start the process to introduce a new constitution. Yes, let our Jesus try to promote the do. We will be sure we can talk about a new executive member for the chairman of the TRC. Now, so President Kuma also been doing Chief Justice Karan, a non-executive member. We will also have as ombudsman to also be, chairman of the TRC. We know saying a time in history for now we be actually doing a referendum for just a new constitution. I'm not saying the executive is at the time now. Yes, granted, a lot of things need for the address. Constitutional review or amendments, actually need the world over. So long as they become obsolete. And when they become obsolete, then laws are able to review them, but the new laws are really match the democratic trend or really match modern day policies. But the SFPP actually just don't decide to actually pull this white paper now because they get better interest with the players. We the APC will get for outrightly reject. One cultural and law for this proportional representation will not go for accept at all because it's not in the interest of the people of this country. 15+1 to become president of the republic, that some Finland will get for looking to critically and possibly also reject because you know the drafters of the 1991 constitution don't make any mistake. For them to become president, for them 55%, they always draw support from all over the country. Try to do a stronghold, try to do a stronghold, but for them substantial amount of support. Nobody, not the same two regions for them 55% in this country, no. But if you want them 55%, the presence and the activities, the membership level be set all over the country. You cannot rely on the north and northwest to get 55%, or the south and the east to get 55%. You have to have a combination of all regions to ensure you get that 55%. So the draft side did not make any mistake. So anybody who wants to try for debate from Randy, it is something that is going to be outrightly rejected. It will not be the interest of better people.
Let me take the discussion now to colleagues in the studio. And I want to begin with UPK. We see the launch of the white paper on the constitutional review. And what you there in agreement with, what you not agree with, following the launch of the white paper for a process where don't serve the longest of time in the history of this country?
You see, when Minkailu they talk, I say, is it Minkailu? I don't know if the APC they talk or for the Minkailu they talk. Because I remember in 2017, the APC, when they were in government, they rejected 100 of the 134 recommendations where the good old man they make for review the constitution. And I listen to SLPP, then say, then they review the constitution. I say, God bless, I say, now cosmetic solutions they want to the problem. Why is it consultative? Why they don't consult? I don't ever hear na panic mode, The SLPP, they say the will of the Sierra Leonean people for let them go, so they want for divert attention. They want is will. Michael will talk about the 50+1. When them in the draft the 1991 constitution, the idea was a president for carry the country, not to just a village and the veranda. It take two people in the field, one person at the field. They say 50+1. It will get physical presence. So it was deliberately set for let them wake one morning and say, let's review the constitution for meet up the next election because they know unpopular. I think say na bad faith against the Sierra Leonean people. The speaker, the young when the self-borner, no even see the feasibility for let pass through parliament, more so is survive a referendum. Maybe not just waste money. APC SLPP, they don't use for waste money. Almost APC use for waste pan the constitutional review. Mikal will know the million and I want to call the million when they spend. We go down the dust. If SLPP, then from the one, my sister Naya, small sister, from the one where SLPP come, every week, every month, they remind them. When I review the 1991 constitution, but we just make one money we are ready. Is it diversion? Are they serious? Are they panicked? And the special executive authority of the president, they don't want to touch them. No one not talk about them because they want for like we continue for remain, for get a godlike president. Some of the things that Maada they do, they do politically expedient. But for let's say it do way the spirit of the constitution. Me not a lawyer, but me not a full man, me not a zombie, me not a idiot. I think say it within the framework of the law. If they mean business, subject the review to wide consultation, expunge the powers of the president, get a human president, not a godlike president. Now the Sierra Leonean people say 50 plus 1, 940. Is it in the review? I still the read them and try for understand and peruse them better. Because me, I know see an arrangement with they make in hell, it not get for see parliament, not get for again in politics, you know for say because where I don't do make calculation, they need 11 or 9 APC MPs. For like really it passed through parliament. But in politics, nothing not possible not possible. Free the money. Then go just wait.
Yeah, if you LSC, come on, please just so trade off in politics, you don't rule it out. You get some MPs away, they can just give small things.
You see, this Italian statesman, you see, everybody getting prize. So, for the speaker, they express this pessimism. It go unfortunate that now for just focus now that we need for do assignment for bring these people in, do or die. Some members of parliament say then a one-time MPs, they may not come back, so then give them. I know they cast aspersion on the office of the members of parliament. Let them not accuse me for perjury. Anything can happen.
Let me deliberate on a few of the things that we really key. The one way government say
50 plus 1.
The 50 plus 1.
Especially
people will talk about 50 plus 1, no get on off again.
No,
it got definitely day because
another day, if at the election, at the election now, they make the election today, they get 50% plus 1
it's not possible for any
so. This is politics, something possible.
In the long list of political parties who get, no party not going to get called 50%.
But some of them party and a party there in paper.
It takes us back to the same thing of you particularly forget 50%.
Let the good people of Sierra Leone
so we done a one, and the good one also now the separation of the office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. I think say that one day.
For me, that is not an issue. For me, that is not an issue. Not a serious issue.
The protection of tenure.
We get stuck when you get a strong presidency.
The one on then tenure office.
Don't complain about now.
No, don't talk about
because they want to do this because they see say they don't make a blunder, then may lost the next election. When they lost election, so the next government will be another government. Then they want to go get secure tenure.
So the one on secure tenure day, we talk about the change of PPRC.
Loss of membership, party membership.
Yeah. Now, go lost membership, then Puli as president or vice president. Then, of course, you get the one that we also, for campaigners and like we're very key to the one on the freedom of expression. Say, then go continue for retain the one on freedom of association. Then one for then protest and this stuff still go get way inside the constitution. Then one in the then come as recommendation, but government outrightly
reject them because they are some. These are the tools of oppression.
So the age again for Attorney General, the period where you don't serve as a judge before you serve from 20 to 15. A whole lot of good things and they, but also other things and they were not.
That is an arrangement.
So
there's nothing good in that.
Emilia then I mean and this process here. So
Emilia just here. I don't want here. Emilia, you.
Let me ask you.
Emilia of all people,
you see,
everything
come as a surprise. And which one I can do and which you hear now?
Stanley, I want for start for say some things then they way actually like we they say to me na a surprise, probably we cannot get time for it all over. But on a very
I want first like confirm say you not be part of the process.
Yeah, me organization be part of the process for do the consultations them at district level, chiefdom level for engage.
Who said me be
there? And
I don't want the eggy butter.
Stanley, I'm not there na the committee, but we organization also na be part of those where they do the consultation.
Who said na consult?
We consult at this country, but
you begin to hear the mic.
Stanley, where before I come to UPK in question them, you know where Minkailu be the doing presentation. I be the buelu sas. I was frustrated. And then I begin to ask myself the question, say, is this how Sierra Leone politicians them don't reduce we to? Because I now want to tell Minkailu say some of these things where it mention. Then get all the UPK at the beg. UPK for today, UPK I want beg you for today.
No, he asked me why you're saying part of that process.
UPK wait, let that process first. I not be there to each on at the committee. Let them know bother you wait. UPK wait. I beg this for me. It's very serious. The thing where I want for come up with. You know when Minkailu the talk. Stanley and everybody where they listen in at this country, Minkailu then and the previous APC government be get all what it take na this wall for pass this constitution where now today we they cry and they look out for mistake the way they did. We did everything and we talk all kinds of even if you cannot be here, you then talk them day. So let me make sure say the white paper, you know when the white paper come out, get a copy. Probably waiting I'm not able for do it now for compare the first
100
document.
100 of the 134 the APC.
UPK the first white paper where they produce before this way they launch. I not get 10 minutes for do comparison of the two documents them, yeah? For me, I see that one where them be hand over to we all the institutions them where they participate, and this one where they officially launch. I want to be honest with myself. But what are they trying for saying some of the concerns then, some of the issues that when in kind of the race today. I don't tell this at this radio times without number say the SAPC government we get everything in the power where it take for pass this constitution. Then, yeah? And in kind of say na time, they not be get enough time. That's a deceitfulness to the people of Sierra Leone. If Minkailu then I had to tell me say, they not be get time. I want to challenge Minkailu say. Then they had all the time it takes. What did they not be get? Now for give them priority. The will. They not be given priority. Until the last minute where the last parliament they sit. We still a push for make sure say them pass this thing and look into it very seriously. They never took it as a priority. So for me, it was never an issue of time. Some of the things the more we look out for. We had already begin to talk about the issue of 50 plus 1 and waiting. When Mr. Ipike they talk about the supreme executive power. I still remember one of the consultations where we get na Bombali District Council, we deal with stakeholders, they will begin call we na secret meeting. And what was the main reason of this meeting? For let we make sure say they not pull this thing come out na the constitution of the supreme executive power. And then I stood at the high table making a statement on behalf of the civil society. I said, normally when people then are power and law then they frown at that law and say, let we not touch this law. Just because them feel say that law they at them convenience. So they not go work for church, that law they come out. So, but let them remember say, if we continue for keep that law day, say let it day the supreme executive part of the president, tomorrow you might not be in power and that law will haunt you. And I'm sure as I then at studio now they talk this. Those will be then at district council that day, if they listen to this program, but now they recall those statements where I make that day. So for me, if this still day to this time, it's not sure, it not shock me. The question somebody go ask you, shock you, it not shock me. Because now this same thing, the previous government, be they insist, be they rally around people for say, may they not pull a come out, may it still did it. So to me, I'm not surprised if this government come back and say, this supreme executive power, it's not something where we go take away. Another thing where we talk about again then, now the separation of power. Where even though Mr. Ibi say not too early back, but very, very serious, Mr. Ibi, the issue of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. And in fact, Stanley, people were going to remember, during President Koroma in campaign messages them, before he left 2018 election. So one of the strong things that will be the campaign on, now for separate these two offices. So that's why, in fact, in the first place, we'll be there the constitution, we'll be there discuss the constitutional review process. We will use this also for reminder. Say, you will not tell me say where you can have power, you go separate this officer. And so now the more reason why we push for this constitution. When not happen, when Minkailo say time beats them. Another issue will be very strong now the constitution. Now section 2740. When they talk about say they're not for discriminate against anybody, section 27 from ABC, and they talk about no discrimination, that everybody gets equal rights. But when it comes to 4D and E, and they talk say also tradition permits and all other things, they went to we woman them for we is some contradicting, and they contradict the three gender laws them, but the Devolution of Estates Act, especially the Devolution of Estates Act, that particular clause in the Constitution, they contradict them. And so, if they're going to court, you get a very brilliant player. Not going to even look at the Constitution, the Devolution of Estates Act, but go look at the Constitution when are the supreme body of the law. Now they look at the other aspect will be the lookout. Now the other one we get for do with members of parliament, especially is it 77K or so 77K. Now another clause and will be so strong on, especially and what it happened, Stanley. We push that in the 77K, we push out. We talk about and say, what it happened with the vice president. When they pull in party come up and every other thing, they sack automatically. So people, I want to summarize and say, the challenge you get with politicians, that moment where they in a power, they not see nothing bad on things where people they impose. But when they are not in that seat, and then they will now come to challenge those things they think it's not right. But the message for this current government, I will repeat, the same words they will repeat now district council say, if for any reason they manipulate this report of this white paper we don't come out, if they manipulate them, tomorrow it not go work in their favor. It go work in their favor today for whatever reason. Even with the assertion the way they get say, even after the election and go just make yes, today go work for you, but it will not continue for work for you throughout. Other time than they where you go one for let them change anything and then like what they happen so now it will not work in your favor. And so for me, Stanley, maybe we go get another time where we go continue for look at this critically, and I go share with you now the first report will come out, what will be the wait for let it pass in a parliament, and this current one where they don't launch. Let me make a comparison of them to the day and see. But I want to wrap up with this note for say, Minkailu and others and the APC government then, it was never, I repeat, never a matter of time. Yeah, it was for me. It was not a priority for them, right. And so they let it go. And now we don't come back. And again, like you rightly say, when this government take power, we continue again for tell them say, let's look at the constitutional review. Let's look at the report. Now we look at that. So if they don't launch this report today, and we don't begin look at that report, say something we're not serious, then it's a very serious concern. But again, with UPK in concern, the 82 man or whatever committee members, I was not part of that.
Or the one way
I was 80 or 82, something like that. I wasn't part of it, but I will tell you, I was part of the regional consultations. Them where they go on.
Okay, but what do you mean talk? What do you mean they talk? Then guy wouldn't come. Did they do any consultation?
Yes.
Which one
for this current one?
Yes.
No. They just launch. They just launch. Then after the launching, then they will come down.
Okay, resuscitation of the
exactly.
Because somebody just sent text to me say,
wait early on, very clear in even the launch now the fact say the technical, the unannounced, right, or on a veil committee technical.
I'll call the name then.
You don't understand? We work on waiting with the launch show.
Okay.
Because they never announced.
Yeah.
Except that they
will talk about that.
Exactly.
So now the
now this is the talk. Now this is the talk. Say it was not consultative. I just wake one morning. That is my
engagement of the public on waiting how they arrive at the one and they for be included in the constitution.
This is my problem.
Yeah, so you talk about.
You know what doubt me, and maybe I've been feeling say when APC can they not pull a white paper.
Yes.
So that they be no. Yes. If we are going to resuscitate it, it will start with consultation.
There was a white paper before APC.
Yes, so when you say that they be no.
Yeah.
You understand? Any other white paper for being get extensive consultation.
Well, say they highly considered the white paper. Justice Kawan.
So there are two white paper now they count on the same.
No, if you wait to stand, they go to say now some people go by meaning. Then they look at Justice Kawan.
Now waiting Justice Kawan left. Then they watch. But the question around who are they watching? We do the reduction and the addition.
How me understand if I remember me elementary government, there was a commission. The commission make a report, a report and recommendation.
Then do the work complete.
After that, they give government. Government come with a white paper. Meaning that the thing that they accept, like I tell you, I've been 134. The APC government then accept 100. So for me, then they be not close. When this new government come, if they want for resuscitator, then for start with wild consultation and now get a report before they come up to the white paper. So the white paper won't be the thing say Emilia saying I'm a part of them. I've been feeling that yes.
No.
Okay. Now somebody so I asked myself, Ebomina Fullman, I know the read, I know the hear. Now somebody asked me, say, you pick it. These are suggestions. What have been put forward as suggestions and any attempt to effect any change without the due process of changing the constitution, which will include parliamentary agreement, referendum, etc., amounts to treason.
Well, again, the question around the referendum, we're waiting President Bio talk. Say they're not rush into that one day.
Okay.
Because before the election.
Okay.
So, in other words, we're not going to see a completed, amended constitution even before the election.
Okay, so
and that's about
the comfortable recommendations. The thing away probably this government comfortable with. Now for take the one that we know to entrench clauses.
Okay.
Now one for make sure say
they get
parliament. Okay. The entrenched clauses. Therefore, demand for a referendum and the conduct of a referendum is very expensive.
Okay.
And
so Stanley, that's what I say. Na panic mode. And Maada Bio don't know say it a loss. If they go by that, no me talk, you kill me 3 at the die, I go hell or heaven. Because the thing that way it feels say that when they do the first election, then do the second ballot, now they panic. So it's like I go for 50% plus 1. When means say they do not have to go to a referendum.
Government say they
for me,
they already don't implement.
For me,
half a dozen of the.
For me, I dey understand what you mean understand, and that the next election we will go using the 1991 constitution, where say there must be a general election, and after that there be a runoff. That's what me feel. So they're not there for do runoff.
No, runoff go always.
According to they say 50 plus 1.
No party no go.
You know what I will do?
The number of political parties.
What I will do? Let me give yourself 1 week so that we study. And also we can do the study. We say this lady go give you the old recommendation and the new one, and this one back. We study her so that we take a line by line.
We go try forget the Secretary General and the Deputy Minister of Justice.
Please.
For let's speak on the one, but some of them things they are. You don't need
no need for reader first. Me I need for reader.
You need for reader more. But
yes.
The point is,
me I need for study more.
Entrenched clauses in the constitution. The president during the launch say they're not they rush into that one day because we already did in an election. So you know.
So the 50 plus 1 an attempt for re-election. That is my argument. Because it is not intent.
We get or the other way they talk about. Forget a fixed date for
Stanley Long study this thing. Long study.
The one they so that country that
long study.
That may be a share with the committee.
Yeah. The technical committee.
Number 1.
Mi padi.
No, no, mi padi. Get beaucoup padi. You know get beaucoup padi. Me na little
why everyone.
Okay.
Number 2, Jacob Jusu Safa.
Okay. SFP.
Then people are all.
Now you know.
Hold on.
Okay.
I dey call the state so that me hold.
Okay.
Anthony Webrion be Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Jacob Jusu Safana be Minister of Finance. Dr. Francis Kaikai, Minister of Planning and Economic Development. Mr. David M. Senge, Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. Fode Yomkela, Minister of Political and Public Affairs. Umaru Napulan Kuruma, Deputy Minister of Justice. Mohamed Lamin Tarawali. Once again, Mohamed Lamin Tarawali have been solicitor then
Solicitor then.
But now, so now Attorney General and Minister of Justice. So they're in a better position in this matter. The other one, Davison Thompson, First Parliamentary Council. Martina Kuruma, Miss, Chairperson Law Reform Commission. Dr. Emmanuel Gaima, Governance Advisor, Office of the President. Ali Vandi Kuruma, Office of Attorney General and Minister of Justice. And Musa Mewa, legal practitioner.
You see, call me first of all, other people
allow
okay. Me at one.
Yeah, you know, I think Mami Jengo be mentioned something. You get an I don't say an iPhone. Okay. This is not the digital world. Long no handicap yourself will get all we get for make use of. Okay? Waiting I want for Senaya. We dey make comparison. Me I get both. That one today and the current one I get also.
Give me all.
We no rush on air.
No, that make us no reader.
Exactly.
So no reader. No study.
And to be honest, when you check on the fundamental principle of state policy, when they talk about the protection of human rights, I see a lot of improvement on Naya. They even advance say for let them make the local government system entrenched. Let them make them as an entrenched clause. Because but where you go through all of this, we get all of them in this. So the question on that, waiting there, Panis current white paper, we not been there because if whatever you say now, the white paper, if you come out from the work of the commission where you put together, you know, for bring anything outside of that. You can disagree with some, but whatever you agree with, that document, the way justice can be make for me the reference point. So in a way, and even the question about voting now, I see them they talk about let them will get a universal voting age where they talk about 18 and let cut across. So before ever we jump the gun, because a lot of people hope to well, maybe some will even say, this is a 40-page document. This one not too huge, not too plenty. This is a 40-page document. This going to how they talk about so. A 40-page document. We interest now, we make whatever if you summarize something to one line when I'm in 10 lines, we want to see if indeed waiting in 10 lines and they be mean I summarize now. Where because for now you see waiting Mikhail they say, and not only Mikhail first talker. I don't listen to a lot of people within the APC where they talk say tin and there we no reflect waiting justice can we say. So we get a responsibility for be the arbiter for Tina middle and say now this, so now from here it come from. But honestly, Mr. Kamara, will not need to get a lawyer. We only need to get them. Suggestion, sir. Now for law, just get those representative of those entities.
Mr. Lawyer, they say,
you understand? So therefore, I said from now it's an assignment. SAB, we get a duty, we get a responsibility, not to confuse the people further. We interest now for reference both document and see who says somebody go manufacture something will not be there. Because whatever we say now, Mr. Kamara, remember say. We now will be not the talk say, but money don't go and justice can
Exactly.
Plenty money don't go.
So
Fine. So now we there into recovery for recover some of that investment today. So whatever little we able forget, once he able for factor, we all nobody know then I will disagree say the 1991 constitution don't due for review. Nobody no
they say that name.
That one is obvious. It is clear.
The constitution don't amend and pass on the
fine, they say be fine. So the constitution don't due for review, and we can no longer continue for the drag of foot because some people take constitution to
from 17.
Plenty.
And Stanley, the good thing for we unlike the audit report, will not be done see the first one where we make and find it difficult for law know whether it is something.
Alright, so
this one I think so get both.
okay. Now let me go back to Minkailo. Minkailo there the agreements and disagreements on this discourse around waiting the president Pulnado as white paper for the constitutional review process. And some of the things in way now of public interest and the one that we also deserved for the lauded, you know, for me panel now. So moving forward, wait till you say the APC they pull a press release on this white paper, and then when I get forget extensive engagement and consultation with the people. What's really una think say wrong with waiting the president Pulnado?
All what has been done is most of waiting them doing an hour paper they declare for protest this particular regime and not in the interest of the country and the people of this country. You know, when you speaker Emilia had expressed an opinion regarding prosecution as far as the right people are concerned. But I want to tell Emilia say, we as the party then, we've been doing governance, we do a lot of things to promote the rule of law, democracy, human rights, and security in this country. And we promote constitutionality in no small way. In the first place, we will not be ready for us to get a new constitution, not a constitution. We never put Justice Kawambe as chairman, we never want a credible process. At least we will not put somebody who knows this by 80% versus the only meeting the already in the interest of the APC. I remind you that even in 1991, we described for repeal and repeal the 1978 Constitution, Act number 12. Now, Peter Tucker put as chairman, there, Abdullahi Okonjo was Attorney General Minister of Justice. Yesterday, we not manipulate the process. We do it in the interest of the country, and that is what the APC is known for. So, now we know the challenges should be surround that particular circumstances. We could not be able to get referendum. The effort is enough to begin with PPC Medina just one for the place in the 1991 Constitution. If they want a transparent and credible process, they want a new constitution for this nation, they do a holistic program altogether. Let us have a new constitution. Let us take it to referendum. Let the people of this country vote. If the end of the day not be allowed to reject them outrightly, whatever election or state is being conducted at this moment, this referendum or otherwise, every people need to go lost willfully. And because they voted and they lost willfully, I need to remember why I think that. The APC did a lot. One of the things that in this constitution they talk about, I mean, nothing democracy and human rights they talk about access to justice, he talk about security. When he talk about access to justice, go look at the justice sector, when it comes to democracy and human rights, watch it out. The fact are there to speak for themselves. So nobody knows will tell you A, B, C, and D. As far as we concern with democratic credentials and with particular credibility just in terms of constitutionality and promoting the things that we are now seeing and the unity of the country, we are second to none. So the APC is ready to ensure that the right process is being carried out. We are ready to ensure that whatever is built in that constitution is in the best interest of the people of this country. We don't be settling for any manipulation. I tell you, most of what we know at this red paper, really before me now, the SLB just don't put the independent nucleus. And that is right for sure. Into parliament, for let them be able to amend the constitution, putting them in. Not putting them in this government reject me and not supposed to reject. Things are really not saying not protect the presidency. Things are really not saying reduce the power of the presidency. They reject them. Things are really not saying it will continue for insulting the edge and then continue for seriously being a government. Now don't see your leaders just speak and one guy for go amend the constitution. But it is a challenge they are going to face and they're not going to succeed. They will not succeed. That is just it. Like I stated, we shall soon come out with a comprehensive statement regarding this one visa, and we shall also communicate accordingly to the citizens of this country, to the general public, and to the international community, waiting at the APC position. But we will not be setting for less. We will do everything possible to protect this democracy, because you know the architecture of this democracy. Now we introduced the 1991 Constitution, in the provision for multi-party democracy in this country. Takaba did remarkably well. Then when Takaba handed over to President Nkrumah, we also the concept of good governance, we try to empower them, we try to reveal some of the actors, give them more power, we try to look into the judiciary. The first time ever for law justice in our opinion, that President Nkrumah Dandi increased upon judges in our opinion, were showing disability and will give them the right.
Right. I'll take the discussion now to UPK with the try for wrap up on this. And then the question now around the some of the things and we government we compare notes. 134 100 accepted, 34 rejected. And we look at which yearly they rejecting this, and the one that we constitute the technical team we work on waiting the public now for consumption, consultation, and engagement.
Hello? Stanley, don't give me when I look at the technical committee, when I look at the technical committee, Anthony Waiberewa, James Jusu Safa, Dr. Francis Kaikai, Dr. David M. Senge, Fode Yunkela, Umuru Napoleon Nkrumah, Mohamed Lamin Tarawali, all the wire, the blue blood SLPP, right? Because they were ministers serving an SLPP government, they were doing the biddings of the president. I exonerate these four. These four, Musa Mewa, I take as a lawyer, Ali Van de Nkrumah, I take as a civil servant, Dr. Monegama, okay. So me not sabi them, I just they forgive them. 4 out of 12. Salon, not to SLPP, you go sabi them because so
all of them in that committee.
Okay. I know go over your word. Okay, another somebody from the studio say then 12 on 12 na SLPP member. So now then 12 people here no more get salon. And interestingly, I get my lawyer friend, he just don't send message to me say the 50+1 and intent clause in the constitution. So they can't have that before the election. That needs a referendum. I make a glad. But Stanley, let we study this document back. Sometimes we say we don't talk to me. I say me not a lawyer. I know they play one, but me not a full man. If me not a full man, say I go ask me party that will get sense. Then go teach me so that we can talk. Look at the thing away. Except you see way me gallery talking, they make her feel bad. You see, Sierra Leone politicians, whether they're SLPP or APC, when they're in power, then they become demigods, then they become politically arrogant, then they're arrogant to the point that then they look at the people of Sierra Leone with disdain. Until power eluded them, then they return to the mortar madness, then they begin espouse democracy, begin talk about the good things. Usain Minkalu be there. We all APC reject 100 of the 134. Then boy back, Maada, he don't go call him 12 bobo then. He say una go sit down, like I say na dem get salon. If you say the people of Sierra Leone are idiot, they are standing there, they go swim, they are the big, let them go swim there in swimming pool. They are one. So we are go swim, let them pull this test up, stressed up, they are big. They are standing. Anyway, and they go swim, the background park for go swim. They are. The APC, SLPP, they all they become politically arrogant.
Let me go to Emilia with the wrap up on this.
Stanley,
What next?
Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program them, but you not subscribe it to the channel. All wait till you get for do, press this red subscribe button, and then you come over here and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one with all. And don't and not get for cost you anything. When you do this, now sign for show say you dey support we for make we do more. Thank you for we do help we for share this program. Yeah, God bless you.